Welcome to the Neon Noise Podcast, your home for learning ways to attract more traffic to your website, generate more leads, convert more leads into customers, and build stronger relationships with your customers. And now, your hosts, Justin Johnson and Ken Franzen.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Neon Noise Podcast, where we decode marketing and sales topics to help you attract more visitors, generate more leads, and close more customers. Ken, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, Justin. How about yourself?
I am doing pretty well. I thought we would talk a little bit about, value propositions today. There's many businesses out there and many reasons to choose who exactly you do business with. A lot of the websites that I visit, they really don't speak to exactly why I should do business with them, or more importantly, why should I choose them over their competition. So today, I think that a good conversation would be around creating a solid value proposition for your business. What do you think of that?
I like it. And it's so important when we look at how hard we work to get a visitor to our website. They kind of open that door when they visit the website. It's kind of like opening the door and looking inside the building and
what do I do next?
Does this look like a store I want to shop in? Does this look like a place that can help me with what I need? And if it doesn't, then they're gonna say, I'm not gonna walk around the store for a while and check. I can kind of get the feeling that I'm not in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
And your website can do the same thing. And so a value proposition can address that issue. Because the fact is, there's usually countless options that a consumer has to choose from when they're trying to find a solution to the problem they have.
Yep.
Just a simple search on the internet will prove this. Search Google for your core products and services, and you're going to see plenty of options that a potential customer of yours could choose from. Now, sure, some of these options, they're going to offer solutions that are substandard of what you provide. They're not to par. They're a cheapened version, or they're not as quality, or whatever that might be, as to compare to your solution, the product or service that you provide. But some of them are just as good. Some of them might even be better, and you have a price advantage. But if you had the option to speak to that person, if you could pop through in a really creepy way, I guess it's kind of weird if you could pop through the computer monitor and be like, hey, let's talk to you about some of the things that matter most to you, and trying to guide them through that process that you normally go to on the phone or in person when you actually had some back and forth, to help them understand the value you bring and the differences you have between the other options out there. So that's what this value proposition is going to help them do, is help them understand quickly. But we normally, we don't get that option. So we want to have this quick, concise statement right when they get to our website, so that they know that they're home, that they're at the right, because we only get seconds to gain their attention and their trust. So this opportunity we have, with this traffic, they come in our front door, they're going to peak. We don't want to lose that, because they can't connect, they can't quickly identify. They can't see the compelling reason to continue learning about what it is your business can do. And so when this happens, they likely move on to another option, another one of the results in the search engines, or the other person that your cousin Eddie referred you to. And so but
all these are little things that could be corrected relatively easily.
Super easy. And really, this is one of those small little adjustments that has a gigantic impact. And so, but creating a value proposition, this isn't one of those, one and done type, forever type things. You want to put some time into this process, but you don't want to let it get dusty. You want to kind of keep coming back and revisit it and make sure it still applies. So
reach out to your customers and see what, adjustments you need to make based off of that.
Yeah. I mean, to see how well it resonates and everything else of that nature. So
Why don't we tell everybody the definition of a value proposition in case you don't know? A value proposition is a positioning of value you bring to the table. It explains how you can solve the customer's problem, and it clearly states the benefits. It tells the customer why they should buy from you and not one of your competitors. So, what are some different things that your value proposition it should answer?
So the value proposition you create, it really should address some of the following questions. It should address what is the product or service that you are selling. It should address the key benefit of your product or service, what it provides. It should address who your target buyer persona is. Who exactly are you selling to?
Mm-hmm.
And then it also should touch on what makes you different from your competitors. What makes you the reason, or what is the reason they should choose you over the other options available?
Right.
So a value proposition is something that is read, and it should be understood instantly. It isn't long and complex or something that's challenging to comprehend.
We're talking about more like headlines and stuff along those lines, right? Or
yes.
Okay. All right.
So
all right.
There's different schools of thought on the composition of, but I like to try to keep it down to three simple items here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an optional fourth being a CTA, but the top item that you should be looking at is a headline. Your headline should be a short sentence that grabs attention, and it's going to key in on one of the main benefits that's provided. And we're going to get into some examples of some companies you all recognize. We're looking at their value propositions here in a minute. So maybe that help tie all this together. The second component is a subheadline. And this is a more descriptive sentence or two, and it's a little bit more detail that tells how your product benefits, what exactly it does or how it does it, and exactly who it does help. And also you would insert some sort of competitive advantage here, and that's the fun part is wordsmithing this to accommodate all. The headline's got to have a punch to it. It's got to have it doesn't have to be bold and make it pop, but it needs to be short. I mean, I'm talking a handful of words here. We're not looking at a long sentence. We're talking about a headline, like a newspaper headline that's going to grab that attention, and then the sub headline is going to kind of tie it together on keying in more on that benefit and the competitive advantage and who it is that you're serving. And then the third component is a visual. In your website, most of the time you're going to have some type of imagery that you're using, and a strong visual, a compelling image that supports your statement is going to help out tremendously. I mean, a lot of times when we get to a site, we look and we see an image and we're like, wow, that's cool. That's the first thing you look at. Or that kind of sucks, or that's uninteresting, or that doesn't grab my attention. So this visual can be of the product or service that you're providing, or it could be of maybe a person similar to that target buyer persona you're after, experiencing the benefit that your product or service provides. Either or it could be abstract and be a gobbledygook of awesomeness. That's something that you really love, and in testing you find that it is.
Go out and get yourself a gobbledygook of awesomeness.
There you go.
Hey, so where do I place the gobbledygook of awesomeness? Is this something that I want to put on the top of the website, middle website, bottom of the website? Where should I put all this?
This should be at the top of your homepage.
Okay.
Above the fold. First thing that they see when they come to your page. Before they begin scrolling.
Right on your doorstep.
Right on the doors. I mean, this is the sign that's on the front door. Boom. They open it. This is what they see right away. And that's what the purpose of it is. It needs to grab the attention. Instantly let your site visitor know you are in the right spot, and we
Mhm.
have the tools to solve the problems that you're having.
Mhm.
So let's
Awesome.
jump in. Let's jump into some examples.
What are some
Yeah.
examples? Do we have some examples that we can talk about?
Yes. I have a couple here that I want to go through. Some of these are companies that we spoke of before on previous podcasts. Some of them
Okay.
are companies you'll be very familiar with. Some of them you'll never heard of, maybe. I'm not quite sure, but these are some examples I want to go through, and we can talk about a little bit what the company does and how this applies. But the first one on my list is Stripe. And so for those of you that don't know, Stripe is, I'm going to say newer company out there that provides a payment platform so you can accept credit cards on your website.
Yep.
And originally they were, they had a value proposition of payment processing solution for developers, or I can't remember what exactly that was. It's changed since. In their big thing was connecting merchant accounts and gateways and everything else used to be this goofy complex system, and there's PCI compliance and all this other BS that developers really don't
difficult.
want
Extremely difficult.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, those solutions still exist.
It was difficult, but
it was more cumbersome than it needed to be, and so
exactly.
Stripe acknowledged this and made a more streamlined, simple solution. It just made it easy, and so their value proposition goes as follows. The headline is the new standard in online payments. Their description or subheadline: Stripe is the best software platform for running an internet business. We handle billions of dollars every year for forward-thinking businesses around the world.
It's great.
In that, they have two CTA buttons. They have a create account or contact sales. So let's talk about this for a quick second. The new standard in online payments. They basically are saying that we are
it.
different and above the norm that you've been so used to. All right. And then in their subheadline, Stripe is the best software platform for running an internet business. They basically put a flag in the ground and state, we are the best option you have. There's no consideration. Now, they add credibility stating we handle billions of dollars every year. So that means that we're not new. We've been around for a while and we know what the hell we're doing.
Awesome.
And they're offering it for forward-thinking businesses around the world. So we are offering this for the target market, the buyer persona that's looking for ways to do things better.
Yeah.
Not those that are stuck in the rut, because they're going to be the ones that deal with the traditional models of merchant accounts and in using a gateway and the more complex mousetrap that Stripe was built to combat. So I love this. This is really awesome. Powerful. It has a lot of impact. So, and then create account. You can either create an account and get started, or you can contact sales and say, hey, I'd like to learn a little bit more before I get that account going. So, next item, Teamwork. You've heard us talk about Teamwork before. It's the project management platform we use to run Neon Goldfish. And theirs is fun because theirs is animated.
I'm checking these out as you're telling me these.
No, absolutely. Check them out. And everyone else, we'll include links to all these in the show notes so that you can go through and check them all out as well.
Yeah, that is cool. I like how the animation changes for exactly who it's for.
Yes. So their headline is business management apps for, and then it moves.
Enterprise.
It looks like an animation
marketing
of a cursor
teams.
Typing. Yep. And it's marketing team, software team, support
Creative
teams. And so what they're basically saying is they have business management apps for all different types of teams. And then they're really kind of connecting with each one of those different types of buyer personas by using animation to display them. And so their subheadline that they have, or the description that goes along with it, is three simple short statements: streamline your processes, connect with your customers, collaborate with your team. And so they're stating three distinct benefits that you're going to experience using their software. Now, they didn't really have a CTA right there next to that value proposition right there at the
No,
head.
it's more they don't, but it's
I would personally like to see that.
I would have a sign up right there.
Something along those lines.
Or
I think
the trial, maybe something along those lines right there. Yeah, I agree with you.
Exactly. So but I love the animation and it serves up multiple buyer personas in that really single footprint. So good stuff. Next I have MailChimp, and we've spoke about MailChimp before. MailChimp's an email marketing platform where you can send emails out to your lists and do a variety of different functions coupled with email to your audience. They're real simple, and I like the simplicity. Send better email. Though. Yep. So their headline is send better email, sell more stuff. In
sign up free.
And sign up free is their CTA button. So
that's awesome.
They don't have the sub headline. They just basically said, we're going to smack you in the face and you can sign up for free. There's no more questions. They didn't overcomplicate a very simplistic setup, right? They're just saying, this is pretty simple. You're going to send better email and sell more stuff. Let's get started. You know, what other options do we have? FreshBooks. For those that don't know what FreshBooks is, it's kind of like QuickBooks, but not so complex. So FreshBooks is a platform that we've used for a long time for all of our invoicing, and great platform. Love it a lot. They've went through a couple different iterations, and they initially, I think when they came out, they were really targeted on the buyer persona for freelancers, those of us with smaller businesses where we didn't have a bookkeeper and we hated accounting because it required numbers. I still hate accounting, but
who doesn't?
Right. So it was just a really simple solution that wasn't QuickBooks. I didn't have to go through these different levers and buttons and all this craziness to send and get paid on, send out invoices and get paid on my work. So FreshBooks, their headline, small business accounting software that makes billing painless. Their subheadline, the all-new FreshBooks is accounting software that makes running your small business easy, fast, and secure. Spend less time on accounting and more time doing the work you love.
I love that.
Then they have a CTA get started free button. And then next to that, which I particularly like a lot, is they have 97% of small business owners recommend FreshBooks.
I wonder why they had that so small on here. I would make that larger.
I think I agree. And here's a couple things. The small business accounting software that makes billing painless. Love that headline.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would, and again, this is just preference, but the all new FreshBooks is accounting software that makes running your small business easy, fast, and secure. Now, I like that it's the all new FreshBooks because it tells me that they are continually revamping and making that the solution better. Sure. It's already been identified as accounting software, but so be it. That's fine. And it runs your small business easy, fast, and secure. Those are three things that matter big time to a
business owner.
I might make that a little bit more of a concise, less of a statement, or make that more compact.
Mm-hmm.
What I do like the most is spend less time on accounting and more time doing the work you love. That matters the most to me because unless you're an accountant, you don't want to spend time doing accounting. There's nothing.
You can almost eliminate that first sentence completely,
almost altogether. And I agree with you.
Like,
yeah,
I want to spend less time on accounting and doing more time on the things that I love. Right? I mean, that's just it.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. I think the 97% of small business owners recommend FreshBooks. That's got power. That has impact.
And it's so small on here.
It is kind of small, hard to read, but it's there though. I like the fact that it's there. Could it be more prominent? Yeah. Absolutely. So FreshBooks, I think, is good. They have a great value proposition. They just have a little bit more of a lengthy one than I think that I prefer, but again, preference, and they're smart folks over there. So I'm sure they have rhyme to their reason.
Right.
Next is Salesforce. I think most people listening to our ramblings have heard of Salesforce. They are a CRM software solution that it's expanded into the marketing world, and they do a variety of different things now. But they have also a very simplistic approach. Their headline: sell, service, and market smarter with the world's #1 CRM solution. CTAs are 2 buttons side by side: watch demo or free trial. So I'm
but
a
that
fan
converts
of the
really well.
Yes. If you're looking at this, you're like, okay, you sell, service, and market smarter. And it's with the world's #1 CRM solution. So they're just defining they are the best.
Yeah.
In that you can take this CRM solution and not only sell with it, which I think CRMs are often associated with salespeople or being used by salespeople, but also you can use it to service your customers from a customer service standpoint, where I think CRMs are often underutilized.
Yeah.
And then additionally,
they can market too.
They can market to it. And so Salesforce now offers some marketing solutions. So they're saying that you can take a big portion of your business and manage it using this piece of software. And boom, short, sweet, to the point. I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. Now, you've all heard of us talk about HubSpot. We use HubSpot here at Neon Goldfish and for many of our clients. So I thought that it would be great to include them here on our list. So HubSpot, their value proposition goes as so. The headline: generate leads, close deals, and manage your pipeline with the HubSpot growth stack. The subheadline: with HubSpot's marketing, sales, and CRM software, you can grow like a company twice your size while connecting like a real human being. Then they have a CTA button, get started, and next to it, free versions of every HubSpot product. Start now and upgrade as you grow. All right, so HubSpot has a lot here.
They got a lot going on.
They do, but I think
it's effective though.
It is. Here's what I like: generate leads, close deals, and manage your pipeline with the HubSpot growth stack. I love the fact: generate leads, close deals, and manage my pipeline. Those things all matter. Do I need to know what the HubSpot growth stack? No,
not yet. Probably not.
No, I think that it's cool. The growth stack intrigues me. What is a growth stack?
Yeah.
Not quite sure. So maybe that's the point there. But it does hit on the 3 things of what it does. The key benefits is it's going to generate leads, it's going to close deals, and it's going to help me manage my pipeline. Now, in the description, I like this description. It is powerful. And so with HubSpot's marketing, sales, and CRM software, so much like the previous example with Salesforce, this software offers a 3-prong approach here. And so marketing, and HubSpot was a marketing first platform, where Salesforce was a CRM first platform. So they kind of
flip-flopped.
Yeah, they approached their models. They have similar models these days, but they approached them from different angles.
Right.
So one could argue, that, and you'll hear this argument often, that HubSpot does the marketing much, much, much better. Salesforce does the CRM much, much, much better. It boils down to really preference. I think that they could argue. We won't get into that debate of HubSpot versus Salesforce right now. But back to the subheadline for HubSpot. With HubSpot's marketing, sales, and CRM software, you can grow like a company twice your size while connecting like a real human being. I love this because what it's stating here is you can be more efficient and grow. Everyone and most companies want to grow. Most companies are looking for ways that they can scale quickly in a controlled fashion. And so they're stating here that this software is going to help you do that. Now, what I love though is because consumers are continually changing, and the way that we approach and work with them is also changing. And so connecting with them, they want to be connected to like a real human being. They want to be talked to. They want to be not say, hey, we have options 1, 2, and 3 and A, B, and C. Choose what you can afford. No, they want to say, okay, Bob, tell me more about your problems. And that's this approach. That's just this angle. And that's the mentality behind HubSpot. So
100%.
I love this setup. Now, here's what I really like is it get started. It's just like, don't waste any more time. Get started. Free versions of every HubSpot product. Okay, I can start using this without pulling out my wallet. That's fantastic.
Right.
It's scalable. Start now and upgrade as you grow. So I can give this a shot. This is better than a demo or a trial because there's no definitive timelines. There are boundaries to how much of the software I get to use for free.
Sure. There's probably limitations to what you're going to be able to do. However,
well, absolutely. They're in the business of making money, and there's reasons why the paid version is worth the money that you would pay them.
Absolutely.
But you can start now and then upgrade as you grow or as you find it to be more useful. I mean, could you imagine be like, well, there's this cool car, I can drive it. I could drive it to the mailbox and back for free. Sweet. And if I want to take it to the store, I got to kind of pay for it a little bit. Well, that'd be pretty cool, right?
That would be awesome, man.
Ferrari, if you're ever looking for a new angle to take, that's one, and I'll be your test market, okay?
You're going to have all kinds of drag strips down to your mailbox.
Yeah. It'll be 45 miles in the car, and I'll be on the third set of tires. Fun stuff. All right. Last I have on my list is Evernote. We've talked about Evernote. I think we covered that as one of the apps we can't live without. And so theirs is awesome. Theirs is probably one of my favorites. Their headline, remember everything. And then their subheadline, inspiration strikes anywhere. Evernote lets you capture, nurture, and share your ideas across any device.
I love that. That's awesome.
Boom. This is like, all right, remember everything, because I
forget everything.
Exactly. I forget everything.
I don't plug it in.
It just gives me peace of mind knowing that, all right, I have that stored somewhere that I can easily retrieve. And it's so true. Inspiration strikes anywhere. I hate when I have an idea that I know that I had and now I cannot remember it.
Yeah.
It's as bad. It's probably worse. The only thing I can think of that's even comparable is when you call someone and say, I forgot what I wanted to talk to you about.
Call you later.
Which is annoying because you just wasted someone else's time.
Right.
So inspiration strikes anywhere. And the Evernote lets you capture, nurture, and share your ideas across any device. You are able to make a note on your laptop and then retrieve it on your smartphone and then edit it on your tablet. And so this provides inspiration strikes anywhere. Great. I'm in the car and you shouldn't do this where you drive. So this is a horrible example, but you come up with an idea, maybe you make a voice note or something and you save it in Evernote. Boom. Perfect. Yeah. Now, one of the things I really like and no one else did here that they're doing is they have a sign-up form right in their value props, right on the homepage, right there. They have an email, password, sign up for free. They're not taking you to another page, another step, no more sales. It's just, let's get started, guys, and let's move forward with this. So
very cool.
Look at the show notes for links to all those different examples. Take a peek at them yourself and shoot us some feedback on what you think or what's your favorites or any others that any other examples out there you might find that you think are great expounds.
Those are awesome examples.
No, I like those.
All really cool examples. And so I guess what would be the next steps on exactly how to start creating your value proposition?
Nope, obviously that's a question I would like. Great, let's get cut to the chase. What can we do here?
So next,
this is an exercise that it's going to take a little bit of time, and I encourage you to brainstorm. Get your team involved. Get if you don't have a team, get some people that you like, love, and trust involved that would be good helpers in this exercise, and come up with several options. And you can refine these down into a singular value proposition that you can start off with. And keep in mind, because whenever we work this exercise with clients, and I ask them to start thinking of ideas, they really start talking about themselves and not really having the customer in mind. The customer should be the
customer, the buyer,
what they care about, what's going to matter most.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you do want to stay, you know, if, you know, we're the best option. Like, that's great, but what's
Why?
the benefit that it's going to provide?
Why?
So,
Right.
all right. So step one kind of plays into that. Know who you are targeting. Developing your buyer persona is paramount in this process to creating an effective value proposition. We have to have clarity on the problems that the customers we want to attract are having in order to even begin connecting with them. So
Sure.
develop that buyer persona, know who we're targeting. Step two, identify the most pressing itch that you can scratch for them. What's the biggest problem they have you can solve? And think about how that problem impacts their lives and what solving this problem will do for them. Next step, write your headline. Create a short sentence that clearly states what your product does and how it solves the customer's most pressing problem. Jot down maybe 3 or 4 different headlines and kind of see what resonates best. It goes back to the brainstorming idea. Don't really try to, you're not going to nail it on the first try. So the best thing to do is just start writing words on paper and try piecing this together. And, you know, I said almost a contradiction. Write a short sentence. And then I told you how your product solves the customer's most pressing problem. You might simply look at this and say, I can't do both of those, Ken. I can't make it a short sentence and complete my thought. No, you likely might be one of those companies that end up with a longer headline, and that's okay. But do what you can to trim
Shorten
as
it
much
up.
fat off that headline as you possibly, as much as you're able. Make it as concise, make it impact, and that's where maybe getting a couple different people to look at it and say, "Hey, look at this. How's another way I could say this? What's another way I could word this? Which one do you like?"
Expand some of that information into your sub headline too.
Nope, exactly. And so that's the next step is our sub headline. And so the sub headline, this is an expansion of your headline. This is the opportunity there where you can maybe get into some of that detail that's supporting information that's going to help talk a little bit about your benefit. And it dives deeper into that benefit. It's going to address who you are targeting.
Right.
And then it's going to leverage any competitive differences that the customer can quickly notice. It's going to identify those differentiating factors that you might have. Step 5, find yourself a supporting visual. You're going to want to make a visual connection with the customer that's going to tie that headline and sub headline in with their problem, excuse me. The visual, it should be professional and it should have, for lack of better terms, a dramatic impact. It needs to help tell your story and further drive home the value that you're presenting to help solve their problem.
Absolutely.
And then step 6, this isn't one of the 3 components I identified earlier. This is that optional item, but include a CTA, include a call to action. Unless your marketing strategy is strictly for branding purposes, which not many out there are, except for, McDonald's is one, you can think of for comparison. And you don't really need the customer to take a specific action when they come to your website. You're going to want to tell them exactly what they need to do next when they get to your website. So the CTA, the call to action, does just that. It tells the customer the next step that they need to take after reading your value proposition.
Yeah.
And determining, are they in the right spot? Do they want to continue? Because not everyone hits your value proposition, be like, oh, that's great, that's me. No, it's meant to weed out those that aren't your target buyer persona. The phone calls you don't want to get, the people that are going to be kicking the tires. If you are a premium home builder, you want to tell them right out the bat, if you're a cheapwad that doesn't want to pay for a premium home, if you're looking for the cheapest home on the planet, then please don't waste my time and your time. I mean, that's
exactly.
So that CTA, it's that it could be a button, it could be text, it can be whatever, but some of the examples.
All of the examples that you gave, I think every one of them except for one had a CTA to tie to their value prop.
So Yeah, I'd definitely include one. Like I said, it'd be a rarity not to. And what did we see? We saw that a lot of times there was more than one CTA that was present. There was two options. And so what does that serve? That serves two different stages of the buyer's journey. You know, are they top of funnel? Are they middle funnel? Or are they bottom of funnel? If they're bottom funnel, like get started now. And if they're middle of funnel, maybe like, hey, check out a demo.
Yeah.
Watch some videos and learn more about it before you buy now. So, and then the last step of this entire process, I mentioned this earlier, continue to refine. So this is like a one and done. I've done this and now I never have to touch it again. Revisit your value proposition on a continual basis and see where you can refine it to improve it, to make it better. You can play with some different variations of your headline, the sub headlines, you know, maybe the visual could be played with a little bit and see what type of impact that has. You'll be able to look at your conversions, you know, the website traffic coming to your page and where they progress through and how many are, you know, clicking on your CTAs, how many are turning into customers. But yeah, don't leave it stagnant. This is the fun.
The fun
Justin
part.
And I, Justin and I consider this to be fun. It's like, hey, how can we
make this better? How can we
help curb the decision making process?
Yeah.
I think of these as Jedi mind tricks. You know, these aren't the droids you're looking for. It's the closest I can get to becoming a Jedi. So we'll see.
Awesome. So I think that wraps up all the steps for, you know, how to go about creating your value proposition. Again, check out the show notes for the different examples. There was a lot of really, really good examples in there that you guys can go and take a peek at. And hopefully you all have a good understanding of exactly, you know, why to consider changing your value proposition and whatnot based off of our conversation today. I think that's a wrap for everything that we wanted to chat about today. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you again next week.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Neon Noise Podcast. Did you enjoy the podcast? If so, please subscribe, share with a friend, or write a review. We want to cover the topics you want to hear. If you have an idea for a topic you'd like Justin and Ken to cover, connect with us on Twitter at Neon Goldfish or through our website at neongoldfish.com.